But we have a problem here. If there's only a drive and no control, what will happen to this poor bacteria? He'll go swimming on and knock against the wall. He rub his head, turn around, you'll keep on turning. So you must control it. All right. Same as a motor car. If you have a motor car and have an engine, is that enough? What must you have in a motor car? Someone said brakes. A sad thing happened just a few days ago. One man, by accident, reversed the car at full speed and killed his wife. And he said, I don't think I want to drive anymore. He has lost confidence. That car had gone out of control because he stepped on the accelerator instead of the brakes. Now, you need to have control. Brakes will control one thing when you want to stop the car, but it doesn't control everything. What else do you have in a motor car? Have you been to a car without a steering wheel? All right. How many of you who drives can afford to take your eyes off the road for 1 second? In 1 second, your car will go out of line, correct or not? So not only the wheel helps you to control, but actually more important is, they say, what's the most important part in a motor car? Someone asked this fellow who was taking the driving test. And this man gave the best answer. He said it's the nut behind the wheel. The nut behind the steering wheel. He's not talking about that nut. He's talking about the man behind the steering wheel. You are the control in control. And you know you have to keep continuous control. Now, control is very important. No control, the machine will go out of control and it will cause a disaster. But there are many, many more things. Control. Most of you have aircon in your car. Nobody drives a car without an aircon now. Now, it's important to have a refrigerating system in your car. But you also need a control. Otherwise, your temperature might go down to 0 and you get frozen in your own car. So you control within 24 plus or minus 2 degrees. So you're comfortable. So control is a part that Darwin never thought about. Now, let me show you. So this one needs control. Through creation, God has made it plain, the Word of God says. How does He make it plain? We say God's control. You need to have a control of your drive. And, you know, you hear words like the Big Bang Theory. But the truth is, there are trillions of planets in our universe. Trillions. And we haven't really discovered many more. Let me explain about control here, because it speaks about intelligent design. All of you know that this is the sun. And there's one planet here, then planet Earth here, and then there are other planets, and then one big one here called Jupiter, right? Now, our planet Earth goes around the sun, right? Now, how many things happens on planet Earth? You all are sitting down still. You think you are still, you are mistaken. There's a lot of movement taking place now. Planet Earth is spinning 24 hours. It goes round one turn, right? It is what we call rotating. It has got to rotate. Now, this rotation alone is amazing. It must be controlled. It must not go faster. It must not go backwards. It must be fixed. Otherwise, the ocean will go into the land. So, who controls this? You say nobody controls. Now, in engineering, we all know one basic rule. The rule of entropy. The rule is this, that something will come to a stop unless you increase power, unless external energy is put in. Otherwise, it's just like a motor car. You drive it, you take your foot from the accelerator, what happens to your car? You drive from here to Jurong, it ain't going to get to Jurong, you know that. Because you need to keep on adding energy, all right? But keeping the speed exactly the same, that's control. So two things on this rotation. Now, I always hear when some some scientists who are atheists, when they open their mouth, they say, millions and millions and billions and billions of years ago, then the earth was formed. You know, the argument can be cut backwards. How long does your watch keep good time? If your quartz watch, 2 years is very good. After 2 years, it goes slow, and then it stops. Why? Battery gone. To keep the speed exactly the same is a very difficult thing to do, even for 2 years for a quartz watch. Can you do it billions and billions of years, maintaining same speed? Make sure it doesn't go faster or slower. 24 hours fixed. Hey, that needs an intelligent mind and great power. But there's only one thing. It has got to go around the sun exactly 364 and 1/4 days. Fixed. At a fixed distance from the sun. You cannot go too near, otherwise we all get roasted like barbecue. And we cannot go too far, otherwise we get frozen like ice cream. So this distance must be controlled precisely. And they say billions and billions of years. Wow, that's a great miracle to maintain the distance year after year. So that's called revolution, correct? That's the third one. The Earth, planet Earth, has to toggle 23¼ degrees, thereabouts, to get the seasons. Toggle means you must go forward, backwards, in relation to the sun. Exactly 23 degrees. You cannot go over and then become 80 degrees and it'll be too much for us. What makes it go backward and forwards? A force needs to be applied. Where is this force? You know, in engineering it's very clear, unless you apply a force, unless you control, it will not change direction. Who makes this earth to toggle so that we get the 4 seasons? But this is not all. This is only the third thing. There is another one. Our entire solar system is moving. And we are moving in the solar system. And our solar system belongs to the galaxy of the Milky Way. The Milky Way is moving. The solar system is moving. The Milky Way is moving. And we don't know how many Milky Ways are there in this entire universe. There's just too many. We haven't counted them yet. With so many rotation, revolution, toggling, space control, tell me, can this happen by accident? There must be intelligent someone, you know, whether it be boilers or machines, we set controls. I test boilers. Here, Colin also tests boilers. There are 2 boiler engineers boil up very fast. So we test boilers, and if these controls are not in, we fail it. You cannot use it. That's what controls so important. Because if you don't control the temperature, it'll explode. That's why. Now, controls are so important. Who is putting all these controls in there? They say billions and billions of years. Wow, this kind of control never fail one. The controls in our boilers, in every 2 years, they change. Not only change, they change the whole boiler, the machines. So now, this is only a small part of it. You need intelligence to set what we call parameters for this. All these are fixed numbers. These are exact sciences you can measure. 24 hours, you can measure. Speed. But this is not all, you know. The speed of travel has to be controlled. And make sure it doesn't move faster or slower. That is control. So many things controlled while we are sitting here. Can it be just without any design? All controls must be designed. All controls fix the limits. And God did that. But that's not all. Actually, on planet Earth, when God has made, how do you account for the ocean currents that moves in a specific direction? How do you account for bird migration that doesn't carry a compass? Have you ever seen flocks of ducks flying or birds and a master front one carrying a compass and say, oh, 50 degrees south, the other side. Nobody, they don't carry any compass. But they fly, there are birds that fly all the way from the North Pole all the way to the south. The measure is about, I believe there's somebody who measured the flight to be, as you know, measured at 30,000 kilometers flight. That's a long, long flight. So all these are controls God set in creatures. So we call it intelligent design. There are many reasons why we can show that there is God. But if you can just focus on one, intelligent design is all the time I have to tell you why it's so important. Whether it be your body, your controls. Why our planet Earth, there are controls. And there's one mistake, and planet Earth is off. We have what is called, do you know why our planet Earth is round? And why there is if you look at the globe, you'll find that the opposite side is usually an ocean. The whole Earth has to be what we call balanced. Have you driven motor cars where the wheel is worn out on one side, and then when you run, it goes rattling away because the wheel is out of balance? We call it dynamic forces. Darwin never considered dynamic forces, but in this world there are dynamic forces. You get dynamic forces every time something moves. If planet Earth must be properly balanced so that when it spins, it will not go wobbling out of the orbit. It must be perfectly balanced. But not only planet Earth must be perfectly balanced, it must be balanced against external planets, because the aligning of these planets affects planet Earth. You know there's something that also comes around planet Earth, right? What do you call this? Yeah, the moon. The moon needs to be balanced against the movement of the Earth, because the moon affects the Earth's movement. All this balancing. In engineering, you always have to take care of balancing. Who is doing all this? The perfect mind of God. God has never made any mistake. The moon has never dropped. It's always at a fixed distance. It affects our tide. If the moon had come nearer, our tides would be too much. We'll get floods every 24 hours. 2 times every 24 hours. So there is control, tremendous control in the entire universe. Everything is under control. And the Word of God says, it's Jesus who sustains the world. After creating the world, He has to sustain it. He has to keep in control. But people don't understand it.